Hey guys, welcome to the stream. We're just going to give it a minute there just for some people to drop in, and then I'm going to go through some questions I've gotten on Instagram. So I'll just give it there a couple of minutes now. And in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just double checking on my Facebook for, I also had a couple of questions on there, and I just want to make sure I have all of them. So just bear with me one moment. Okay. So if you have any questions, guys, while we're doing this, just pop them in the chat below and I will answer them as we go along. Now, grand, so I just want to take a note of this one here. Okay, so I'm going to start off just by giving you guys a quick overview of the channel. Sorry, it's a bit bright where I was to film today. Unfortunately, I can't use anymore. So we've had to move, and that is just super bright. So sorry, guys. So basically, what I'm trying to do on the channel is focus on cleaning. Declutter. That light is super irritating. I'm so sorry, guys. Is cleaning, decluttering, and organising. I'm going to be doing a bit of home decor as we go along, and just decorating and stuff like that. Some renovations are coming up, which I will talk about a little bit later on. What else is there? Yeah, so I've already done on the channel. I've done the the kitchen declutter, which was a big job. There's probably even more to come out of that kitchen, but that was kind of the main kind of hotspot areas in the kitchen where there was just a lot of declutter. And what I'm talking about when I'm referring to hotspot areas is areas in the kitchen where like a lot of stuff ends up, where constantly you're putting stuff and, you know, it's the press that stuff gets shoved into and stuff like that. Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. There's a little bit of a blur of the camera. Is that better? Oh, that's a bit better. So yeah, kind of focusing on that, getting the main area. So everyone has hotspots in their houses. Like a lot of people have what we call junk drawers. So that's basically the drawers in your house where all the prep stuff to go. Upcoming video, but even just using the little baskets that you can get in Deal sell them, Ikea sell them, or like Poundland, Dollar Tree, that kind of stuff, they sell them, and I find them really good. And just kind of have each for kind of a section of things. I know a big point of contention for a lot of people is cables, phone chargers, laptop chargers, you know, spare plugs for this, HDMIs, you know, all that kind of, even SCART for some people. And I think it's really important to keep them as much as you can together, keep them wrapped up, kind of wrap them up on themselves. And keep them kind of sectioned, because they can get really, if they're not tied up and they're just all like loose out, they get into a big huge tangle. And then if you're actually looking for one, they're really hard to get to, and they just make the mess look a lot bigger than it actually is, which can be a huge thing. But the one, I should probably start with saying the one thing I think, and I've said this in my videos, but just in case you're new here or new to the channel, the one thing I have to say that creates a massive amount of what I'm going to call it is visual clutter is clothing. Like whether it's in a spare room and you've got new curtains on the bed or on the floor, you've got loads of blankets, throw pillows, all that kind of stuff. You're going to get a lot of visual clutter from that. So that's why I always recommend, if you're starting to clean a room that's been kind of neglected for the last little while, my first recommendation is to go in and gather all the clothing, gather it all, like bedclothes, curtains, fabrics, your own actual clothing, anything like that, and set it aside and either sort it into, like, if it's all laundry, put it all into a laundry basket or into a bag. I find the blue IKEA bags, you know, just the plastic ones. I've linked them in some of my previous videos. I find them really good for storing stuff, because they're really big and they're sturdy, but also they're really budget friendly. I think they're about 70-75 cents to buy when you're in IKEA, and they're really big and they're strong as well, which is really good. So gather all your fabrics and take them out, take them to the side. And I generally find that that's a huge impact that you'll find straight away. And if you even just make that one thing in a room, you'll start to see probably a very big difference, especially if somewhere like a bedroom or a living room or, you know, a laundry room especially. Another thing, moving on, a good laundry room tip I have is to get. Oh, also, guys, please, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat box below. Rather than me just rambling on for like half an hour. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. But so I would say a really good thing to do is to get a really good place, should I say, to start is to get your laundry system under control. So I'd recommend a 3-basket system. So you've got your darks, so your darks and dark colours, light colours, and then whites. Always keep your whites separate. Or even another alternative system for people who use like colour catchers and don't mind mixing colours and stuff together is to have your tumble dry and non-tumble dry, because not all fabrics can be tumble dried. I know, especially in Ireland, we hang a lot of stuff in the washing lines during the kind of spring into summer and parts of autumn, depending on the weather. Obviously, the weather is very unpredictable here. But yeah, I would say that's a really good system to get into place, is your laundry, because it just makes it easier when you're, when you get down and it's just sorted. So you're literally just you can just take a whole load of laundry at once, and you're not kind of spending 25 minutes or 10 minutes or any amount of time really kind of going, oh, I've only got half a load of dark colours, I've got half a load of white. You already have them sorted, which I find is a very good system. And you can buy laundry baskets that are literally split into 3 categories, which make it a lot easier. And I would usually say when the baskets get half to 2/3 full, 3/4 maybe, I can't speak, sorry guys, get at least one load of laundry on. And it's just easier to keep on top of it, because there's nothing worse than, and as you've seen in one of my videos there, it's the extreme clothing one, 3 weeks of laundry, which to be honest doesn't seem like much, but it does add up when you add into that bedclothes and towels and all that kind of stuff. It gets very bulky very, very fast. But yeah, so I'm gonna actually move on to some of the questions I got on Instagram. So one of the first questions I got on Instagram, I put up a few Ask Me Anything posts on Instagram over the last kind of few weeks, just to get kind of a collection. So when we did something like this, I had some questions that you guys want to know. So one of the first ones I got was dealing with mold in houses and bathrooms. So mold is unfortunately a part of life that is, excuse me, can be hard to deal with. So I would say when you're dealing with mold, what you need to do is, number one, try and limit the mold. As soon as you notice it is the time to deal with it. Now, if you're a person that it's been there for a while, or you move into property and it's there, then you just have to work with what you have. I think that's really important. Work with what we have, and don't be hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, because people do that so often. So mold, the best thing to use, if you have it available to you, that I find really good, is to get a steamer. Because the steamer, with the heat of the steam, it's going to kill the bacteria, it's going to kill the mold spores, stop it spreading. But also that moisture or the steam, the kind of moisture in the steam, is going to help to loosen up the mold on your surface. If you have it untiled, it should wipe off pretty easily. Or get a scrub brush. There's multiple types of scrub brushes depending on the type of kind of surface you're working on. Like if you can't use the same scrub brush on a stainless steel, kitchen that you can use on a tile or on a glass or on plastic. So get a scrub brush that's good for that. You want it to be hard enough that it's going to get in, it's going to aggravate the dust, or aggravate the dirt, should I say, but not so strong or harsh that it's going to actually damage the surface of what you're trying to fix. So I would say steamer and scrub brush. Steam as much as you can on the thing and try and loosen all that mold up. That's also I'm actually going to take my glass because it's a massive reflection. It's distracted me. But I would say that you need steam on that and scrub it. And then you can also get mold and mildew treatments for your bathrooms, bedrooms. Use them. Or if you're painting a house, it's a new house, you can get anti-mold paint. And I would really, really recommend that. I think I've covered a lot there. If there's any more information you want, please let me know. So I have a question there from CK. How do you stay organised? How do I stay organised? That's an excellent question. It's kind of a series of things. The first thing I'll say is, when you have a job to do, break it down to steps. That's the best piece of advice I can give, is break it down into steps and make it easier yourself. I'd recommend, do I have one here? Yeah, I have something. This is just an example of one I have now. You don't obviously get this one. I don't even know if you can get this one. I got this in a Birchbox like a year or two. I haven't actually used this. The next one I'm going to use. So this one here is like a good, just like these notepads. You can get these anywhere. So this is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, obviously, some people, their weekends are busier, but something like this is really good. You can get, do I have a to-do list here? No, I don't. Sorry, guys. I thought I had my little to-do list in notepad, but I think I actually have it in the kitchen because I was making a to-do list before I came on here. I just have like a notepad. I just recommend having a notepad. Keep a notepad even in the drawer beside your bed. Can be good if you think of stuff. When you're going to bed to do the next morning, you can jot it down. Another thing I have here is just like a weekly, I just got this recently, a weekly meal planner. If you're doing food prep or anything like that, they can be really good. This is just written on with whiteboard marker. You wiped off and you redo it every week. And then there's stuff. I don't know, it's the same thing. I have a few of them. But yeah, just notepads. Write stuff down, take notes. And set yourself, what I find really helpful is set yourself weekly goals that are achievable. Like, for example, you could say, want to paint your house. Is it realistic you're going to get your house painted if you have, say, a multi-room house in a week by yourself? Like, is it possible? Yes, probably. Is it realistic? Probably not. But, maybe say, oh, I'm going to paint the hallway coming into the house. I'm going to paint the bathrooms. I'm going to paint the thing. And do your prep work. Make a list of the tasks that you need to get done and then do the tasks. And I also find it really helpful to write stuff down because, like, crossing stuff out or ticking off a list can be really, really, motivational and really kind of give you that push to keep going. It's really helpful. But yeah, I'd say writing stuff down is really important and setting yourself tasks and goals and stick to the plan, essentially. Make a plan, stick to the plan. And most importantly, enjoy it. Like if you're cleaning, turn on some music, put on a film, enjoy it and do as much as you can. Don't push yourself so hard on day one that you're going to be exhausted for the rest of the week because you're not going to get anything done then. But yeah, making a list, staying organized and try and plan out your week because if you plan it out, it's much easier to keep on top of and you have a much better idea of kind of how much time you have to work with and how much time you have to play with. So yeah, planning is really important and go easy on yourself. If you miss a task, like push it to tomorrow or do it another day. Don't be too hard on yourself is probably a really important thing I can say and realistic achievements and goals. So I have another question there. What tools and systems do you use to stay organized? Okay, so well, one thing I could say that I find really important is saying why not now? If you're walking past a task and you see a pair of socks on the floor beside the laundry basket, pick them up and put them in the laundry, put them in the laundry basket. Like, why not now? Why not do it now? If you're not like running around doing something, I would always say do it there and then. The same thing, if you see a load of laundry to be done and you're not currently doing something, you have 5 minutes, throw on the load of laundry. It's little things that just keep doing stuff. It can be hard to get on top of a big task, but once you start, if you keep doing little tasks and keep working away on it, it's much easier to keep organized and to stay organized if you maintain the system or the task that you're doing. Like laundry can be a massively overwhelming task if you have a lot of it. But if you can set aside, say, a Saturday or a Sunday or a Wednesday, whatever day works for you, start working on the task of, say, the laundry or whatever. I know I keep using laundry as an example. It's just I think it's an example that a lot of people can kind of understand. But if you can pick a day, see if 3 or 4 hours and get it all together, gather it all, get everyone in the house that you're living with, if it's like a family home, to get all their laundry and bring it together into your living room or your garage or your laundry room, whatever, and start getting through it. Another good thing I find is if you get something like a cube organizer, or if you've shelves, just get boxes and literally label each person's name on them for like each member of the household, and then they are responsible for their own laundry. And I think that works for most people. Even young children generally adapt that system very easily. Obviously, depending on their age, if they're one, they're probably not going to understand it. Now, maybe they will. I don't know. I don't have a 1-year-old, but I find categorization of things is really, really good, and splitting things up is pretty much the crux of it. And then the tools I use is just labels. I love labels, boxes and labels. I find really, really helpful. I'm just going to take a drink and have a place for something. If you don't have a place for something, it's just going to float around. So if you something you really want to keep, find a home for it, and then that be its home. And as well as if you label stuff, especially if you're bringing a new organization system into your home, if you label stuff, then everybody knows where it goes. So it makes it much easier to keep it organised and tidy. Do you think investing in furniture is beneficial, or can the clutter hazard in itself? Oh, that's actually a really good question. CK. Storage furniture could be really, really, really good investment if it's well utilized. Because as a good point you made there in the question, can it become a clutter hazard? It absolutely can. 100%. So again, I would recommend if you buy something like a very common and very popular and kind of cost-effective furniture solution that a lot of people would use is the Kallax unit from Ikea. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just giving my opinion on products that I use and I like. Again, there's alternatives on Amazon and every probably furniture shop and everything else, depending on your budget and the style of material and stuff. But I think the important thing to do is if you're getting storage furniture and equipment, you should have a fairly good idea before you buy it what's going to go into it. Like, there's no point in you buying a 20 cube storage organizer, like the very large Kallax, if you only have, say, DVDs or books that you need to reorganize, because if you have something like a shelving unit, you're going to fill it. Like, you're most likely going to fill it. So you are creating a hotspot there in a sense for yourself. So what I would say is if you're buying, say, for example, a cube organizer, I would recommend buying the boxes that go with that cube organizer, or it doesn't have to be the same company, but the size that fits, and have your labels organized. And I would also say have your items ready to go into that storage or that organizer ahead of time. I would say is really good and important. But yeah, that's actually a really good question. It can be a clutter hazard in itself, but if you already know what you're going to put into it, I think that makes the job a lot easier. And I would also recommend doing your declutter before you buy the cube organizer. Because if you don't do your declutter, then you buy the cube organizer and there's stuff left, like there's room left. Say you, for example, buy your cube organizer for books and board games, and you fill it up with books and board games, and then you have, say, 2 or 4 shelves left, and you've all this clutter that you're not really sure about, and you might or might get. What's going to happen is you're going to put it on it, and you're probably going to go buy more stuff to fill it, because that's generally what we do. We buy stuff, we fill the space we have. We don't buy more than what we have room for. In the majority of cases, not in every case. I understand that's not everyone's philosophy, but try and stick to what you need, like what you actually need. Don't buy a 20 cube unit if you don't need it. Don't buy 4 wardrobes if you have 18 items of hanging clothing and the rest of it needs to be folded. Try and really think out and plan ahead. I'd even recommend, like, if you're, say, buying a new chest of drawers or something like that, buy the organizers first. Do your declutter. See what you can fit into those cube organizers before you buy your new chest of drawers. Obviously, IKEA have storage systems. Again, this video is not sponsored. I just really like IKEA because I just think they know what they're doing when it comes to utilizing quality storage space. But buy your organizers first and do your declutter, do your sorting, go through that, and then go and get your chest of drawers that's going to fit that. There's no point in buying a 6-drawer organizer if you're only going to use 3 drawers, because you're going to fill those drawers. But yeah, a lot of it's planning. A huge amount of being organized is planning and preparation. Because again, I don't want to recommend a product even to you guys, like even something like the Kallax that you don't need, because there's no point in buying stuff you don't need. That's completely against the point of decluttering. But I feel like that's a very good system, and they're sturdy and they last well. Once you take care of them, they do last long, and they're easy to clean as well, which I find really important. But yeah, so I think that's a really good question, Kira. Thank you. I'm sorry if I rambled a bit there. Should you start decluttering room by room, versus should you start with categories like clothes and shoes, etc.? To be honest, I would say I would do categories. I would do categories personally, I think. Now, again, the reason I say I think is because I believe that each person has different needs and each person has different kind of problem areas, would you say? Or I'll say clutter areas. Some people clutter, or they like hoard clothes, or they have a lot of clothes. Some people have a lot of books. Some people have a lot of, beauty products or whatever. I really do think that clothes are a really good place to start in general, to gather all of the clothes, because they are such a huge part of, I think, clutter for most people. It's always where I start. I was recently working on a project, a decluttering project with a friend of mine. And the first thing I said was, you need to go get all your clothes. Because I think clothes are something that can also form a massive emotional attachment for a lot of us as well. Like, it's like this, to say me, this item of yours is a black t-shirt, but to you, that's the black t-shirt you wore on your first date with your husband, or that's the black t-shirt you wore the day your child took their first steps, or that's the t-shirt you wore, this first day of your first job. Again, it comes down to the person, but I think clothes are massive. Their clothes are something that are kind of universal to everybody. Everybody has them. Everybody has probably more than they need. Not everybody, but the majority of people, I think, have more than they need. And I think it's such a massive area. And I would include, myself personally, I would include clothing in with household items, like your cushions, your throw pillows, your, throwovers, your blankets. Bring it all together. If you have 4 sets of curtains in the house that have been in the room for 2 years, make the decision that, yes, I'm going to put them up this weekend, or I'm going to get rid of them finally. Or this week, whatever your day is, whatever particular day you prefer. But yeah, I would say, yeah, start with clothing and go from there. Room by room, again, it depends on your schedule. If you have a full day, it's easier, should I say, to pick a category like books or whatever, or magazines. The two biggest categories I find, though, are clothes and paper. That's a huge one. Like magazines, leaflets, post, bills, all the kind of stuff. If you do nothing else, I think if you get your clothes decluttered and organized, if you can get your paperwork in a filing system decluttered and organized, it will make a massive impact to your life. And then beyond that, go room by room, I would say. Specific people, it depends on how much time you have. If you only have 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I'd suggest picking, like, say, a small bathroom. Go in and do that. Even just do the decluttering today, do the cleaning tomorrow. Again, break it down into smaller steps is the best advice I can give. Do you think it's true that an organised space is a calming factor for the mind? People utilize that particular space. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I think your space is a reflection of your mind in a lot of cases. If you have a clean space, and a clear space and a tidy space, your mind is tidy. Is this true for everyone? Possibly not, but what I find is, when over the years, I've done like quite a lot of decluttering projects with family members and friends, and what I found is, in the majority of cases, if someone's house is in complete chaos, it's very likely that their mind is as well. Now, again, I'm not trying to give a psychological analysis here, like, I'm not a psychologist, but I feel like people's space can be a reflection of how they're feeling in a lot of ways. But yeah, I find that really to be the case a lot. That your space can be a reflection of your mind. But I also feel that when you clean up a space and tidy it and organize it and declutter it, to whatever extent that is, like, I like storage boxes. You can see here in the background, as you can see, this room is an upcoming project. Oh yeah, that's another point I need to make. I am not organized all the time. I'm not all organized all the time. I would love to be, but I'm not, because life happens. And people get tired and they go, I'll put it there for later, as we all do. I'm just going to put that on the shelf just for now. I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And then we don't. But yeah, like here, if you can see here, sorry, I'm trying to do this backwards. I have boxes. I love boxes. I also have a label maker, which is right here. As you can see, it is still in the packaging. I've used it like twice because I have the boxes and now I need to label the stuff. So one of the reasons as well I'm very unorganized, because I moved house there before Christmas, which was challenging because it was in the middle of the lockdown as well. So I had limited I had to just move when I could and what I could. So I had kind of an entire other household to be brought into this household. So as organised as this was, because a huge declutter was done last year, a lot of stuff has been added to that because of the all the stuff I brought back. So that's this is probably, when I do this room, it's probably going to be a 2-part video, if not a 3-part video. I'm not going to make a set amount because I don't know. I, like a lot of people, find it much easier to declutter other people's things than my own. I don't mind getting rid of a lot of stuff, but there's certain categories that I struggle with. Books I really struggle with. Clothes, I'm just like, throw it away, I don't care. That's just me, though. Some people are very attached to their clothing. But yeah, I think if you can tidy up your room, or even tidy up a section of your room, or even just the section of your room that you see first thing in the morning, it makes a huge difference. One really impactful area I find is if you have a dresser or a locker beside your bed, like direct beside your bed, where you put like your phone and your alarm clock and your lamp at night, clean that up. Literally, if you do nothing today, clean off that area, give it a wipe down, give it a dust if it needs it. Hoover the floor if you are so inclined, if you have time. But even just clear that space beside your bed, and when you get up in the morning, that clutter won't be staring you in the face first thing. Or if there's like an area that you sleep directly across from that you see first thing in the morning, just clean that up today, and see how you feel in the morning. You'll probably notice the difference. I noticed it recently when I did it. Where are we now? I'd like to see doing a vlog on Ikea sometimes and see your recommendations. Oh yeah, no, I'd love to do a vlog on Ikea. That'd be really good. My recommendations, oh my god, we're going to be there for 3 hours. Yeah, Ikea, brilliant. I love them. I love Ikea. And I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about Ikea, and it's every company. It's the same with every company. I've never had a problem with their furniture, though. It's super sturdy. I like it. And I love their storage solutions, and I love that they present so many different options. I've gotten ideas from Ikea so many times from the displays. They do really, really good stuff. I just have to figure out as well where their chalkboard labels are. I've wanted them for years and I can never find them. But yeah, I'd love to do that. Doing a vlog in Ikea. I'll have to contact them just to make sure I can film in the store. But I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. But yeah, I would definitely love to see that. I do have an Ikea vlog. Your best recommendations for storage stuff from Ikea. Oh, thank you, Eva. Yeah, I definitely will try and do it. I'll absolutely try my best to do that. I can probably tell you most of my ideas from Ikea off the top of my head. Am I going to pronounce the stuff correctly? No, because I'm not Swedish. So I'm probably going to pronounce them wrong. But I can give you a couple right now off the bat. They have really nice white storage boxes. You probably saw them when I was doing the declutter in the bedroom, the big white storage boxes. They are called Variera. And I really like them because they come with lids and they stack. I'm actually just going to throw that in the chat for anybody who wants to look at that up. And I think I spelled that correctly. And if I didn't, I've put a link for that in the description box of the video I did when I was doing the clothes decluttering. All the links for the Ikea stuff were in that. The Malm furniture sets I find really good. That's like the chest of drawers I have, the locker I have. They're all Malm, and I like them because they take the Skubb organizers, which I really like because they are made, those actual organizers, the drawer organizer are actually made to fit the Ikea furniture. So it's not like going and buying a load of stuff and come back and trying to fit it all in. Like, it's designed to fit that stuff. I'll put that in as well on the description here into the chat, just in case anybody is having any trouble hearing me. Oh, I didn't even ask you guys. That's so bad of me. Can everybody hear me okay? I've just been rattling away here for ages. Can everybody hear me okay? If someone can let me know in the chat if they can hear me okay, I'd appreciate that. On furniture and Skubb organizers. But yeah, what else is there in Ikea? What isn't there in Ikea? No, anybody who knows me, and if any of my friends are on this, you will know how I feel about Ikea. Ikea. Some people go to the zoo for a day. Some people go down the country to a lake. I go to Ikea. I know I love Ikea so much. Oh, you can hear me? Great, awesome. Thanks, guys. But yeah, so I would say organization Ikea. Number one, their kitchen organization section is amazing. They have the drawer organizers, all that kind of stuff, which I find really good for the cutlery and your utensils and stuff. I would also love to see an Ikea. They don't have it at the moment. I heard they might be releasing it. Is adjustable bamboo organizers. For anybody who doesn't know, bamboo is fully compostable. And it grows really fast. It's really, really fast growing. It's really, really strong. So it's super sustainable, and they can reproduce it really quickly, and it doesn't have an environmental impact, which is really good. It doesn't have a huge one, like it's completely sustainable. So I know they've started making a lot of furniture. That another really good organisation I would say is to get the glass food storage tubs with the bamboo lids. They're really, really good, and I feel like they keep the food fresher for a lot longer as well. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I missed? Oh yeah, sorry, I have another question here that I just completely washed over. Sorry. From Instagram, I got about a week or so ago. Floor cleaning. Any tips for floor cleaning was the question. I can't remember who that was from, but anyway, best tips for floor cleaning. First of all, do it last. Is my first thing to say. Always work from the top to the bottom. Is what I always say, because I'll tell you why. If you start, say, I'm going to use this as an example. If I start cleaning these shelves and I start down here and work my way up, I dust that and then I dust that. As I'm dusting that, it's all going to fall. So start at the top. If you've any top, if I can tilt this up a little bit, up the top here, this wardrobe, it's like a lip. If I dust that and I've cleaned everything, it's all going to land everywhere. So start up the top. Go section by section. Take your time. Start at the top and do your floors last. I would recommend, with all cleaning, the first thing you do is come in with like a flat brush. You'll see it in my last video that was released, I think, last week. It's just to basically dust the ceilings and the walls. Like, can the walls be scrubbed in and washed? Yes, they can be. But the first thing to do is get rid of the dust, because it's going to get rid of the cobwebs. And what I always recommend is, when you do anything that removes a major amount of dust, what you need to do is get all the dust down and leave it to settle. Like, leave the room for like 20 to 30 minutes. Because otherwise all you're doing is moving the dust around. So especially when you're up high. So I would usually go, dust the top, just your ceilings, your walls, get your main surface dusting done, and then leave the room for like 30 minutes. Let the dust settle. When you're finished your dust, and I come in, you might need to do a quick rub over again on some of the shelving, and then do your floor hoovering or mopping last. I always say hoover your floor before you mop it. So long as you have a hoover that works on multiple floor types. Some hoovers do not work on wood floors; they'll damage wood floors. So check your manufacturer's instructions first for that. And yeah, hoover first. I don't like sweeping because I think you're just moving the dust around, and you're also kicking it back up into the air. If you're doing it at night and say you've kids in the house, if people sweep by all means, or small area, do it. But always hoover before you sweep. Or hoover before you mop, should I say, or sweep before you mop. Because if you mop a dirty floor, you're just moving the dust around. And you're more likely to make the floor more dirty, because if there's clumps of dirt or dust, you're just going to spread them. So when lockdown finishes, would you consider doing house consultation, bookings, planning, exercise, and accompanying people to Ikea and back to move, and would love to consult you? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, 100%. I would love to do that. I would 100% love to do house consultations. And planning, accompanying people to Ikea. Yeah, for sure. If it's allowed in the restrictions, once restrictions lift, absolutely, yeah. I've no problem. I'll happily spent like 2 hours IKEA planning the journey. And yeah, I'm lucky in the fact that I've been to IKEA a few times, so I know a lot of the stock, so I kind of know what goes with what and that kind of stuff. Not everything, but like quite a few bits. But yeah, no, I'd be happy to help you with that. CK, yeah, no problem. If you drop me an email to my email, it's in the description box on my watchcollar on my channel. You'll find it. Do you have a checklist for each room for things to do, or do you just clean as you go? I do have a checklist for both, I'll have both, to be honest. Clean as I go is like, if I go into a room and I'm like, oh my god, like for example, we've a small bathroom downstairs. If I go in there and the sink's filthy, I'm just gonna do it. Just get it done, do the mirror, wipe it down, do the toilet. But yeah, no, I do have checklists. I do one of two things. I will either make a checklist for each room, so I'll get like something like this. I have one that's about, say, half the width of this, and it's literally just called a to-do list. So I'll say like sitting room, dust, hoover, fluff the cushions, etc. Whatever, clean the windows, curtains, whatever, and write them all down on my list, and then I'll just literally tick as I go and then cross out the room, and I'll go that way. If anyone's interested in me creating something like that, like as a downloadable, for the checklists, please let me know. I would be more than happy to do that. It won't take me long. I have a few of them myself that I kind of work off myself from time to time. But yeah, if anybody would like me to make like a PDF downloadable, you can download yourself and just work through. I'd be more than delighted to do that. Let me know, please. You can either let me know in here. You can drop me a comment after the live. I will be leaving this video up to watch back later. I think if I can figure out how to do that, I'm pretty sure I can. But otherwise, if you think of it later, drop me a message on Instagram. Drop me a message on Facebook. They're the best two places to get me. I have a Twitter. I do check it, not as often as Facebook and Instagram. Again, you can send me. Oh yes, please go. I'm just going to take a note of that. So checklists per room. Because again, guys, I'm making this content for you to enjoy. So if you guys want something, please tell me. You know, and if I can facilitate or help, I absolutely will. Checklists for room. Sorry, I'm just taking a note for myself. And then what I'll do is I'll put it up on here. I'll put a link up on here first whenever it's ready. No problem, Eva. Can't wait to check your website when it's up and running. Thanks for answering my questions. No problem. I don't have a website yet, but I'm planning for one in the future. I also just want to quickly go over some projects that are coming up. We will be doing a huge declutter in this room that I'm in at the moment, in my bedroom at the moment. It's going to be massive. I'm also going to do a huge one in the attic. The attic is very dirty. We was construction on the house a couple of years ago, and the roof had to be taken off. And we have a ceiling. It's like just plasterboard ceiling in the roof. And basically, what happened was when the roof was taken off, about 35 years of dust fell through, and it's all over everything in the attic. So that all needs to be cleared out, and then we're going to declutter and get rid of a lot of stuff. And then the same thing for the garage. It's really, really dirty. It's a garage. We don't clean it. We should clean it. We don't, because it's also split in half. So it's like half it's the utility room, like for laundry and stuff. So that's a big project that's going to be coming soon as well. Has anybody got any more questions? No problem, CK. No problem, Aoife. Any last questions before we go? Because I think I'm going to wrap up now in the next kind of minute or two. I'll just say a couple of last things. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the support. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, which is going to be around me somewhere. I think it's here. I have a different layout than usual, so I think it's here. But if it's not here, then it's there. Push the subscribe button, please. Ring the bell. Set to all so you'll get notified every time I go live on the channel. I also post up on Instagram and Facebook anytime a video is live, in case you miss it here, in case you don't get a notification. What else? Yeah, I try to post as much as possible the links to the products I'm using in the videos. If I miss anything or you see something I'm using that I haven't mentioned, please drop me a message in the comments or drop me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and I will let you know about the product, or if you just want more information on what it is or where to buy it. If I know, I will tell you, of course. And yeah, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? We should have a video out for next Friday. I was hoping to do the stream yesterday, but unfortunately there was a verification issue on my YouTube account. I had to verify live. So anyway, I don't even know what I'm telling you. That's boring. Nobody cares. Anyway, we got it sorted because here we are now. We are here. So what else? Is there anything else? I'm just trying to remember something else. Oh yeah, I got a cool sign for my room, which you will hopefully be seeing soon. I don't even know if you guys can read that. Do more of what makes you sparkle. That's my Saturday advice, guys. Do more of what makes you sparkle. Remain fabulous. You're all fabulous people. I probably have glitter all over my face. Sure, hey, glitter makes everything better. But yeah, most important advice I can give: one step at a time. Take it one day at a time. Go easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't tear yourself down. There's enough people externally trying to do that. You don't need to help them. Anyway, what else? One step at a time. Make a list, guys. Make a list. Stick to the list. Make a plan. Stick to the plan. Even if your list is just the list of the rooms to do. You know, even if it's a particular day, you do all the dusting in all the rooms and it takes you 30 minutes. Do that. Do the hoovering in all the rooms. Do the decluttering in probably each room, because that's, well, all the rooms. If you have the energy, the time, the commitment, then by all means. But yeah, one step at a time. Go easy on yourself. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. Spread the love, guys. Spread the love. Social distance, though. Wear your masks. Wash your hands. Stay safe, and I'm going to head off, guys. I hope everyone has the most incredible weekend. I love you all. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.